What's up to all those alone in the zone? It's a lead slinger, John Eli Lopez, back once again on a mission to get you one step closer to being the king or the queen of the pencil. And today I'll be covering surrealism. If you'd like to follow along, all you would need is some colored pencils, a good reference photo, and a creative mind. Okay, so let's get started. And by definition, surrealism is sought to release the creative potential of the unconscious mind. For example, by the irrational juxtaposition of images. So that means the bizarre, mixing real with bizarre. So you can have an extreme end of this or a light end of this. So you can go from mild to extreme. And for my example of surrealism, I'm taking a mild approach where I'm taking something realistic, a realistic animal, and I'm going to exaggerate the colors reflected in its eyes. And the animal I'm choosing to do now, as you can see it's coming together, is a regular domesticated cat. And a good thing about, I like, especially when I'm doing animals, insects, and things of that nature, I love using reference photos. And remember, you do not have to stick with one photo. You can merge a couple of photos together and create your own style. And that's basically what I'm doing kind of here. I took two photos and put them together because one of the photos I like the fur, and then the other one, the nose was so defined. So I just wanted to use that one. So remember, when you're using reference, you want to have clear direction, clear, the clearer the image, the better. Because if not, you're going to have to really create your own, just if you don't have the reference right in front of you, you got to create your own. Whatever that feature is, you're going to have to make it up. So once I have the initial sketch, here we go. I'm getting in the darker areas first. And with this particular image, I was going to do markers and color pencils in one. But I decided I'm just going to go straight with color pencils. Because I realize I will be touching on surrealism again. So the next one I do on surrealism more than likely will be using I will be mixing material. So as I'm laying the fur down, I'm just establishing the darker areas into the midtones and leaving a space where I know it's more of a highlight. And then we're just going to try to blend those together, the darker into the highlighted areas. And once you start putting those pieces together, you see the creature, whatever it is you're doing, starting to come together. And something like a cat, around the head, by the ear, the fur is longer than, say, on top of the nose. It's shorter. So keep that in mind, and that's going to add to the effect that you're trying to get. When you're doing animals, certain parts would have longer fur, and then, you have to compare and contrast that with the shorter areas. So keep that in mind. Any of certain animals are just all around furry. But I'm definitely willing to bet that you will find some areas on that animal where the fur shortens. Alright, so just keep that in mind. And here I'm just still using the black, but I'm going very light because I want the image I had in my head. I want the eyes to be the central point, really. So there's many ways you can go with this. You can make the whole animal colorful. I decided to just stick with the eyes and make that more of my surreal part of this image. So here we starting with purple, and that is where we come into the surrealism. And as you see, I'm going the blue-green from there and just bringing it down, going back over. And it's already have a crazy effect when I started that. The eyes looking good with just the purple to the blue-green. And then now once I start with that yellow in there, and my idea for this was to, have basically all the colors within the cat eyes. A transition from one tone to the next. And that's where I decided to take it because I was going to try to make it all the way to the reds, but I said, let's just stop here with yellow. So, my initial thought was to get all the colors in there. But I started really liking how it just went from the purple to the yellow, and I said, let me just stop at that tone right there. But that's the beauty of art, you can take it so many different directions. I could have kept the eyes more realistic and the fur unrealistic. So, sometimes when you're thinking of ideas and or you have like a art block as they call it, like writer's block, it's good to think of surrealism too, because then it takes you outside the box. And a good way to do it is take something real and exaggerate a certain part of it, or exaggerate the entire object, the entire creature. I'm just adding some of the purple that I initially started with within there. I didn't want to overdo it, but I wanted some sort of balance in there. So still said, let me come back and add light versions of some of the colors I used in there. And as I'm moving on, I must get darker down around where his mouth is, because that's going to make the whiskers stand out more. So as you see, I'm just moving from one area to the next, making sure I'm getting the darker parts in. To me, the more I do that, the more this cat just comes to life. And definitely one of the tricks, you do not want straight lines. Only on certain areas, like maybe the edge of the nose, and the bridge of the nose, around the eyes. As you see, I'm getting the lines in there for the whiskers. And that will be the bottom part of the whiskers where the shadow's hidden. Even though it's a thin strand of hair, it's thin. You would see the shadow and the reflection. And they were getting yellow on the lighted side. So I'm having a shadow and light side, but very lightly. I'm just touching it on there. And now we're come in with the white to add a little highlight area, and then I'm erasing. And it didn't stick out enough for me, so I said, let me put a little more white here and then add some shadow up until I get to the white part of the whiskers. So get the kneaded eraser in there, trying to get the line going. And you know, sometimes the kneaded eraser is not strong enough, so you have to come with a stronger eraser. And I just used the pencil I had. But you know, the white block erasers are good also. And come back here with the black, and now I'm just definitely getting the darker areas. Not playing around. Pushing down. It's just strands of hair. There you have it, folks. We are done. Very nice. I hope you guys got some value from this video. If you did, scratch at that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment. Any feedback is appreciated. So until next time, John Eli Lopez signing out. Y'all be good and be safe.